All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a piece of ancient history that is honestly just mind-blowing. We're unpacking a high-stakes diplomatic thriller that literally has it all: an immensely powerful ruler, a totally unexpected challenge, and a massive clash of ultimate ideals. We're talking about the legendary Queen of Saba, often known as Queen Bilqis, and the prophet Suleiman. Now, she ruled a kingdom that wasn't just wealthy, it was an absolute superpower of the ancient world. Her trading routes controlled vast riches, her architecture was monumental, and her military was fiercely loyal. She sat on this massive, ornate throne, surrounded by advisors who genuinely believed their nation was completely invincible. For decades, nobody dared to question her authority or her kingdom's dominance. But as we're going to see today, that impenetrable bubble of absolute power was about to be seriously challenged by a single, perfectly timed message. Okay, let's dive into this. Picture the scene for a second. You are the queen of Saba. Your kingdom's strength is totally unmatched, your military is formidable, and your wealth is pretty much the envy of the known world, right? The grand halls of your palace are just filled with confidence. And then a message arrives that completely shatters that absolute certainty. It's not your standard, polite, diplomatic greeting from a neighboring state. The queen stands before her court, completely astonished, gripping a letter that defies literally all protocol. She announces to her courtiers that she's received a truly miraculous and honorable communication. And you can imagine the atmosphere in the room instantly shifts from this relaxed arrogance to just palpable tension. A single piece of parchment has suddenly thrown the absolute certainty of her powerful kingdom into total confusion. Section 1. The Unexpected Royal Letter, a Message of Submission. So the source text actually gives us the exact contents of this communication. And it reads, "This letter is from Suleiman, and its beginning is with Allah's name. Do not be arrogant over your kingdom, accept Islam, and come to me." Just pause for a second and think about the sheer authority in those words. I mean, ancient diplomacy usually involved, intricate flattery, lavish praise, subtle negotiations, just to stroke a ruler's ego. But this letter, it dispenses with all of that. It is a blunt, uncompromising demand for total submission. Suleiman is directly challenging the queen's pride and her sovereignty, demanding that she drop her arrogance and submit to a higher truth. For a ruler who has literally only ever known total obedience and flattery, getting a direct command like this is a profound psychological shock. Moving on to Section 2, War or Wisdom, the Council's Dilemma. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the immediate clash of reactions. The courtiers, they react with deeply offended pride. Their response is entirely driven by their bruised egos. They boastfully remind the queen, hey, we are people of great strength, we are fierce fighters, we should bow to absolutely no one. They want to sound the alarms and prepare the army right then and there. It's a classic reactive show of force. But in stark contrast, Queen Bilqis completely refuses to give in to that hot-headed emotion. She exercises this incredible strategic restraint. Instead of just rushing headfirst into a devastating war, she chooses diplomacy. She suggests they send precious gifts and test his response. It is a fascinating look at leadership under pressure. I mean, even today, we constantly see leaders faced with this exact dilemma. Do you react with explosive pride when your ego is threatened, or do you take a strategic pause and gather more information? The queen, very cleverly, chooses wisdom over immediate destruction. Which brings us to Section 3, the Queen's Clever Test, a psychological game. So the queen lays out this brilliant three-step logic. Step 1, send a fortune in precious gifts. Step 2, carefully observe how Suleiman and his people react to this immense influx of wealth. And step 3, and this is where her true political genius just shines, she deduces that, well, if he's merely a worldly king, a politician driven by power and expansion and greed, he'll happily accept the treasures and be pacified. However, if he is truly a prophet of Allah, like the letter implied, he'll reject the wealth because his motivations operate on a completely different paradigm. She's actively testing his core identity. This move really reveals her deep understanding of human nature. She knows that most leaders have a price, and she's betting that this overwhelming display of wealth is going to uncover his true intentions. Basically, the queen was attempting to neutralize Suleiman's power with gold, jewels, and just unimaginable riches. But what she didn't know was that Suleiman possessed treasures that the wealth of the earth and the sky couldn't even come close to matching. As the text from our sources highlights, the true battle was no longer about gold and silver. It had elevated into a monumental clash between haq, meaning truth, and batil, meaning falsehood. The gifts were really just the opening move on a much larger spiritual chessboard. And honestly, there's a pretty powerful modern parallel here. How often today do we see material wealth used to buy influence, or mask deeper truths, or test someone's moral integrity? The Queen brought an economic weapon to what was fundamentally a spiritual battle, and she entirely misjudged the nature of the conflict.
Chapter 4: Rejection of Riches, the Unbreakable Prophet. So, the messengers arrive and they confidently present these lavish gifts, fully expecting the usual awe and gratitude that comes from offering massive bribes to foreign leaders. But so the crucial point is he doesn't just politely decline. He absolutely dismantles the entire premise of their visit. He looks at them and asks, "Do you want to help me with wealth?" And then he delivers this crushing retort. "What Allah has given me is far better than what he gave you. You be happy with your gifts. Go back." Seriously, imagine the sheer bewilderment of these seasoned politicians realizing their money has absolutely zero power here. It is a total, unshakable rejection of worldly bribes. He makes it crystal clear that his divine mission cannot be bought, it can't be influenced, and it definitely cannot be negotiated away with shiny objects. Their ultimate trump card was just brushed aside as completely worthless.
But Suleiman doesn't stop at just rejecting the gifts. He turns the tables entirely and sends back a strict, terrifying warning that absolutely shatters any remaining illusions those messengers might have held onto. He tells them, "We will bring an army against them that they will never be able to match. You will be driven out of there humiliated, and you will be left entirely helpless." He's establishing right here that his authority is absolute and backed by overwhelming, unstoppable force. The message to Saba is dire. If you continue in your arrogance and refuse the truth, the consequences are going to be utterly devastating. He leaves them with a chilling realization. His power is not up for debate.
And this leads us to our final part, Section 5, the ultimate choice, a kingdom at the crossroads. You can almost picture it, right? These panicked messengers frantically packing their belongings and racing back to Saba. They return to the royal court and report that Suleiman did not want their gold or silver. He only wanted the ultimate supremacy of truth. And this brilliantly illustrates a profound irony on how this all played out. The Queen engineered this highly sophisticated test, totally designed to prove he was just a normal, greedy king. But the test worked a little too perfectly. By utterly failing to bribe him, she inadvertently got the scariest possible answer. Suleiman passed her psychological trap flawlessly, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that he actually had a true divine mandate. Her own brilliant strategy stripped away all her illusions and left her staring directly at reality. So, the mighty Queen of Saba is left standing at a profound crossroads. All of her immense wealth, her fierce armies, her sophisticated political maneuvers, they've all been completely neutralized. The source text leaves us with the ultimate dilemma that she, and honestly, perhaps all of us, when we're faced with an undeniable, uncomfortable reality, must confront. She now has only two paths forward. Does she fiercely protect her pride, hold on to her worldly dominance, and risk the total destruction of her entire kingdom? Or does she humble herself, recognize the absolute authority she has just witnessed, and submit? Think about the immense philosophical weight of that decision. Save her ego or bow to the truth?